that is starting or currently running an AI automation agency has probably asked themselves this one question. Should I focus on building chat agents or voice agents? Well, these two AI solutions have very different strengths, and knowing which one aligns with your goals can set the foundation for your success. So, by the end of this video, you'll have the clarity to make the right choice for your agency. If you don't know me, my name is Sierra, and I'm the founder of Botterra, which is the website that you're seeing here. I have been building out AI models, automations, chatbots, and voice agents for nearly 4 years now, and my agency helps people like you build out your own agencies with access to templates, resources, and white label development to help you build and scale. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so the format of today's video is going to be a very clear, very concise, short presentation walking you through a lot of the pros, cons, opportunities, and everything that you kind of need to know to make the right choice on whether or not you should be focusing on chat agents or voice agents. So this is what the presentation is going to look like. It's going to be pretty simple, just me walking through a lot of this research and information that I found myself, and also a lot of things that I've discovered in my own personal experience. So let's go ahead and move right into it. So the world of AI is currently booming. If we're being honest here, customer service AI is seeing a massive growth at nearly 236%, and companies are projected to spend nearly $337 billion on AI strategies by 2025. Additionally, AI consulting services demand is up nearly 689%. So, where do chat and voice agents kind of fit into all of this? Because we know that the AI agency and development industry is growing. So, let's go ahead and take a closer look. So, jumping into AI chat agents first, let's go ahead and define what exactly a chat agent is. Well, chat agents are AI powered tools that handle text based interactions. Think websites, apps, or even like your social media and Instagram. AI chat agents can help contribute to automating messaging and answering questions on those platforms. They're already super popular and they're versatile, excelling in everything from customer service to sales and even internal automations at companies. But what makes them a good choice for you? Well, taking a look at it, there are numerous use cases specifically for chat agents. The first being, as I mentioned before, customer service and support. The next being sales and marketing. Then there's also social media automation and then internal process automation. So examples of this would be something like a Instagram influencer who gets a lot of DMs and they need to automate their responses, or somebody who is looking to provide better customer support to their customers by having an FAQ answering chatbot, or somebody who wants to have product recommendations on their website using AI, and they could integrate that to help drive more sales, or even internal process automations by building out a chatbot that can answer internal questions for a company. Maybe there's new employees who might have questions about company processes. So there's a lot of use cases for chat agents. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the pros and cons of these chat agents. So the first pro is that it has a pretty high demand across industries. So I've honestly found that there are so many different types of small to mid-sized businesses that are actually interested in these specific types of automations. There are dental offices, real estate agents, social media influencers, professional services companies like construction companies that are looking to automate things like their customer support and sales. Additionally, there's a really rich set of media support for chat agents. There are a lot of tutorials and YouTube videos, and a lot of the companies that provide you the software to build out chat automations have really great video tutorials to help you learn, and they have programs to help you learn. Additionally, there is a ton of recurring revenue potential and fast returns when it comes to chat agents. You can set up your business model very clearly so that you have monthly recurring revenue. Say you're charging $1,000 upfront for your chatbot, but you're charging $50 per month for maintenance. There are ways that you can set up this business model for recurring revenue. Additionally, there's really fast turnaround in profits. I truly do think that building out chat agents can be extremely efficient once you get really good at it. And a lot of the times, the automations that one business owner wants, another business owner wants, and you can reuse your automations to have a faster turnaround and increase your efficiency, which at the end of the day drives higher profits. Additionally, there's a pretty low startup cost when it comes to building out chat agents. There's really primarily two main things that you need to build out chat agents. And I actually have a video on the AI automation agency starter kit, which you can check out up here. The tab should pop up for you, but you basically just need to have an automation builder. So something like make.com, Zapier, or N8N. And you also need a chatbot builder. So that could be something like VoiceFlow or BotPress. But those are really the two main things you need. You could pay for subscriptions for those, but they also have really generous free trials that you can check out. But let's go ahead and look at the cons here. So some of the cons are that there's really high competition in this specific area. AI agents have honestly become very popular. They've blown up, as I showed to you earlier in this presentation, and there's a lot more competition. There's a lot of people on Fiverr who are building out these things. So what you need to do is find ways to be competitive by either finding a niche or finding another competitive advantage. The other thing is that there are pretty big platform limitations. A lot of the times, the platforms that you use to build out AI agents are relatively the same, and there's really not that many of them that I think are great. Really, the top two for me are VoiceFlow and BotPress, and ManyChat is also really good for doing Instagram, Facebook, and messaging automations, but there's some limitations around these platforms. Additionally, logic and conversation flow understanding can be tricky for people who are learning to build out chat agents. So what do I mean by that is you need to have a really good understanding of user experience. So you need to understand how conversations should flow, and you need to be looking at the data for conversations to truly understand where someone is falling off of the conversation or is becoming uninterested or where the agent isn't doing too well. I think that's a step that a lot of people skip when learning to build chat agents that is really important. Next, chat agents are a lot less human-like. People are very, very aware that they're not talking to a human, and honestly, some people just aren't open to adopting that yet, so that's just a hurdle that you have to overcome. Additionally, they require ongoing maintenance a lot of the time, especially if there is a knowledge base you need to update. However, that is a great opportunity to earn recurring revenue, so sometimes I think that's a pro and a con. So that is chat agents for us, but let's go ahead and move into voice agents. So we're going to do the same thing as we did with chat agents. Let's go ahead and define what a voice agent is first for a baseline of understanding. The definition of a voice agent in my terms is an AI-powered technology that uses audio to interact with users, perform tasks, or provide information, commonly used in devices like smart speakers, you could say Siri or Alexa, but also in phone and calling systems. So that's kind of how I would define a voice agent. Now, let's go ahead and look at some of the use cases for AI voice agents that differ a little bit from the chat agents. So the first thing is lead qualification in sales. The second, which is the same as the AI chat agents, this is customer service and support. The third is user feedback and surveying. And the fourth is appointment scheduling and management. Now, obviously, for the chat agents and the voice agents, there are so many more use cases, but these are the top four for each that I've noticed at least my own clients and other people have had the most success in and the most demand in. But let me give you some examples of each of these. So lead qualification and sales, that could be like a real estate agent who is maybe doing some outbound outreach to somebody who has their house for sale and is trying to see if they are open to selling it. There's also customer service and support. Say somebody is calling for a concern about IT or a product that they got that isn't working. You can set up voice agents to kind of work through those problems faster without needing as much human labor. Additionally, you could do user feedback and surveying by calling users or calling people and getting user feedback and surveying them. Additionally, there's appointment scheduling and management. An example of this could be like a barbershop that needs to allow for appointment scheduling over the phone, and people can call in to the AI agent and schedule appointments using the agent instead of bothering the barber while they're trying to cut hair. So that's the use cases for some AI voice agents here. Let's go ahead and look at some of the pros and cons. So the first thing on the pros list is that it is an emerging market opportunity. Now, this differs a little bit from the AI chat agents because those are a little bit more popular than AI voice agents. Voice agents are a pretty new thing. The ability for AI to have chat features has kind of been around for a while, but the voice features are a little bit newer and they're just emerging into the AI automation market. So this is a great time to jump into this market. Additionally, they have a really high perceived value. So what do I mean by this? This means that if you're someone who has no idea how AI works, no idea about AI systems, and somebody's coming to you and telling you that they can help automate your inbound or sometimes even your outbound outreach to people, that is extremely valuable to people because it is a time suck. It is time consuming to answer calls, to send out calls. So a lot of business owners find very high value in these products. Additionally, there is niche differentiation. So basically, there are a lot of different niches that you could target with AI voice agents that differentiate you from chat agents. And I honestly think that using AI voice agents and building AI voice agents is, again, in itself a very niche thing that makes it a little bit more difficult for you to have competitors in whatever niche that you choose. Additionally, there are scalable client benefits. So, what do I mean by this? This means that there are things that you can add on to your product to help your client scale over time. So, let me give you an example. Let's say we go back to this barbershop example. There's a barber who just wants to set up a basic phone answering system, and all it asks is for them to press one if they want to schedule an appointment, and two if they have a question, and it just routes them to the barber. Well, that is a very baseline use case, but once you build that for them, you can also add on other things. So you can add on automations, you could connect it to their calendar, you can connect it to a knowledge base. There are scalable client benefits over time that you can upcharge for. Additionally, there is personalization at scale. So you can personalize voice agents, and honestly, you can personalize chat agents as well. But AI voice agents, for one, you can personalize the voice that they have, and you can also highly personalize the interaction to make it feel more human and make it feel more genuine. So those are kind of the main pros that I've found with AI voice agents. Now let's jump into some of the cons. So number one is I personally feel that AI voice agents have a slightly higher development complexity. So I think that they're a little bit harder to build than chat agents because you need to consider everything from prompting to the natural sound of the voice to the knowledge base, as well as coming up with a conversation flow. So you need to be able to accept that there will be a learning curve here that's a little bit higher than with the chat agents. Next, there is a greater upfront cost. You will have to pay for things like phone numbers, subscriptions to things like SynthFlow or Retail AI, even 11 Labs, and as well as those automation providers like Mate.com, N8N, and other things. So you need to consider the cost in there. Again, it's not super expensive, but just consider that it does have an upfront cost. Next, there is limited market readiness. What do I mean by this? Is a lot of people, not necessarily a lot of people, but many people are not necessarily comfortable talking with AI on the phone. Again, as I mentioned, this is a very, very new development in the AI space, and some people are not fond of talking to AI agents on the phone. So you need to be able to face that head on to help convince your users that, hey, this is a totally fine thing to be using, and it's actually helping you and your customers. Next, there are technical challenges with voice accuracy with AI voice agents. Sometimes they don't sound as human as I think they could be. You just have to be able to adjust and maybe train your own voice models, but that's just something you need to look out for. Additionally, there are regulatory and ethical concerns with building out AI voice agents. A lot of outbound calling is banned, especially in the EU, because it can be considered spam. So make sure that you are researching your regulations in your specific area. All right, so now we're going to move into one of my favorite slides in this whole presentation, which is a head-to-head comparison of chat agents and voice agents using this little chart here. So let's go ahead and look at the 5 categories that I broke this into and chose to compare chat agents and voice agents. And these are the 5 main things that I think should contribute the most to your decision. So for the first thing, we have low cost of development. And just a note here, 1 means that it's worse. So 1 means that it's more expensive, and 5 means that it's less expensive. I know it's a little counterintuitive, but it works out better for the rest of the options here. So let's go ahead and look. For low cost of development, chat agents, I ranked a 3 and voice agents at a 2. As I mentioned, chat agents are a little less expensive to develop than voice agents purely because you need to pay for fewer things to build them. Next up is Ease of development, I would say that chat agents are slightly easier to build out than voice agents. However, some people have different skill sets, and it might be easier for you to build out voice agents. And this isn't being said to deter you from building them. It just means you need to take the time to learn to build voice agents, which just might take a little longer than chat agents. Next up, we have the easy learning curve. This is very closely tied into ease of development. I would say that chat agents have an easier learning curve than voice agents. Voice agents require you to learn prompting, building out automations, as well as building out conversation flow, whereas chat agents really just require conversation flow and automations, as well as a little less prompting. Then we have market demand. Now, I would say that voice agents are at a 5 here. Voice agents are at extremely high market demand right now, whereas chat agents, not so much. And this is purely because I feel that the chat agent market is a little more saturated than voice agents, purely because chat agents have been around for a little bit longer and more people have hopped on board with developing them. Next up, we have scalability. Now, I would say that with voice agents are more scalable than chat agents at the moment, purely because innovations in voice agents are literally getting better and better every day. And while that is the case for chat agents as well, voice agents are just innovating and changing and getting better so rapidly that I think that there is a lot of opportunity for you to build and scale and innovate on top of yourself and upsell the things that you're developing for your clients. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this slide, which is probably the answer that you want. This is what's best for you. So I made another comparison here, just kind of doing chat agents versus voice agents and the criteria and the things that you should ask yourself to decide which one is best. So for chat agents, I would say that you should be developing chat agents if you want to start quickly with minimal upfront costs and your ideal niche needs chat agents the most. What I mean by this is that the niche that you choose, if you're really dead set on it, let's say you choose to target landscaping companies, if you decide that they need chat agents more than voice agents, then you should be focusing on chat agents. Next, you need to be comfortable working with text-based platforms like websites or social media. Additionally, you would prefer simpler tools and faster development cycles. And you also want broad use cases that appeal to most businesses. So I would feel that chat agents do appeal to more businesses than voice agents do for the most part. However, there are a lot of different opinions out there on this, so that might be a hot take. So for voice agents, let's look at the criteria here. You need to be willing to invest in more advanced tools. I truly believe that the more advanced tools you invest in for your voice agents, the better, because the voices are higher quality and the development's a little easier. Next, your ideal niche needs voice agents the most. So, like I said, let's say you're choosing a landscaping company. If you decide they need voice agents more than chat agents, you should go with voice agents. Next up, you need to be comfortable working with voice platforms and you need to be comfortable with prompting. So much of building out voice agents is just good prompting. You need to be good at prompting. Additionally, you prefer longer projects for bigger payouts. So with chat agents, I do feel that they do allow you to build them out quicker, but the payouts might be a little smaller. Whereas with voice agents, the project might take you a little longer to build. The requirements might be a little more advanced, but the payout can be greater. Lastly, you want to differentiate yourself with a less saturated service, meaning that you want to find a way to separate yourself from other competitors in AI automation by focusing on the voice niche because it is newer and less saturated. So, my advice here is to honestly follow the different things that I mentioned in this video, but really nothing here is set in stone. It's really up to you and what you think your skill set is and what you're willing to do for yourself. I can't necessarily tell you the best decision, but I can say that you should start with just one and expand to both. The key is to just start. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to learn both at the same time because not only are you trying to learn the technologies, but you're trying to build a business, market, find clients. There's a lot going on when you are starting an agency. So choose one. Start with just one and then eventually expand to both as you build your skill set. But if you are ready to launch and scale your automation agency, and let's say maybe you don't necessarily want to take on all of this development by yourself, My company, Botterra, offers consultation, templates, resources, and white label development where we help you with the development ourselves while you focus on marketing and building out your business. Just go ahead and contact us and we can get you a consultation. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe and comment below any other questions that you might have or what videos you'd like to see next.